Welcome back to my video channel and welcome back to this new video on blast of rice. In this video, let us focus on one more plant disease called blast of rice, and this disease is caused by a pathogen called Pyricularia oryzae. Rice is an important cereal crop, and rice belongs to the family Poaceae, and its botanical name is Oryza sativa. Almost half of the world population consume rice, and about 90% of rice that is grown worldwide is used for human consumption. And rice is the main source of food for people, especially in Asia and Southeast Asia especially. You're seeing the cultivation of rice here. These are the rice fields, the rice crop that is grown in Asia. This is the rice and paddy. Paddy is the actual grain which is actually polished to get the rice grains. And there are nearly 40,000 varieties of rice all over the world. And two important varieties of rice that are consumed worldwide are Indica and Japonica. We have different colored rices also that are consumed worldwide. Coming to the disease called blast of rice. Rice blast is one of the most destructive diseases of rice. A leaf blast infection can kill the seedlings and plants up to the tilling stage. At later growth stages, a severe blast infection reduces large area of the grain fill, reducing the grain yield. The pathogen is Pyricularia oryzae, and its sexual stage also is discovered. It's called Magna Portae oryzae, and this disease, this pathogen actually destroys and actually leads to the destruction of rice yield to up to 30%. Coming to the classification of Pyricularia oryzae, it comes under the kingdom fungi, division Ascomycota, class Sardariomycetes, order Magnaportales, family Magnaportaceae, and the botanical name of this pathogen is Pyricularia oryzae. Let's focus on the symptoms of this disease. The symptoms usually are seen during the entire period of rice crop, especially seen in the seedling stage, rapid tilling stage, transplanting stage, and also flower emergence stage. These are the stages which are most susceptible for this disease. There are different types of rice blasts that are identified. One of the most common one is called leaf blast, where lesions are seen on the leaves which appear as brown specks to start with, brown spots to start with. Later they become spindle shaped with pointed ends, and the center of the spots is usually grey in color or whitish in color. It will have a red or brown margin. Sometimes you also come across a disease called collar blast, where between the leaf and the leaf base of the leaf and the leaf sheath, between the leaf and the base of the leaf, the infection appears, and as a result of which the leaf completely turns brown and it becomes black and it dies, and leading to the death of the leaf. Once the leaf is dead, the photosynthetic yield comes down, as a result of which the crop is devastated or destroyed. And you are seeing here the leaf blast. You are seeing the elliptical, elongated, spindle shaped spots which are brown or brown in the margins or black in the margin, and the central region you can see white or grey spots. So this is what is called leaf blast. There is one more disease that is identified called neck blast. In this case, what happens is the junction between the ear, that is the panicle or the inflorescence where the grain are produced, and the remaining part of the stem. So this junction is actually infected. It actually rots And because of this, the connection between the plant and the panicle, that the inflorescence, is removed, and as a result of which the food is not supplied to the developing grains. As a result, the grains are not developed. As a result, the complete rice crop is lost or destroyed. This is one of the major problems in the blast of rice. You are seeing the neck blast here, where the neck region of the panicle is infected and is destroyed because of the neck blast. You can also see one more picture where you can see the neck is infected, as a result of which the food supply from the plant is disconnected to the developing region where the grains are developed. So this is called neck blast. Neck blast is a very serious disease. In addition, you can also see one more kind of disease called panicle blast. Here the entire inflorescence panicle is infected, and as a result the grains are not produced. The grains that are developing will not be developed, and leading to the loss of the crop. Here the spikes and the spikelets are completely infected by the pathogen. You can see here the panicle is completely infected, and as a result of which the infection destroys the crop. There's one more disease that is identified is called node blast. Here the fungus attacks the stem nodes of the stem, and as a result the connection between the stem and the developing region where the grains are developed is disconnected, and as a result the grains are not produced, leading to the loss of rice crop. You are seeing all these types here. You are seeing leaf blast, node blast, collar blast, panicle blast in this diagram. Coming to the pathogen is actually reproducing by means of conidia, and the conidia are produced on the conidiophores. Alright, I will give the description of this pathogen. The Pyricularia species are pathogenic and wide range of monocot plant, not only Oryza sativa. They are also causing infection in other rice plants, and they are distributed all over the world. The mycelium is consisting of pale brown branched septate hyphae, which are inter and intracellular, and the conidiophores are solitary, erect, straight or curved. Sometimes they are unbranched, they are brown, they are smooth, and they are 1 to 3 septate. And conidia are solitary, pyriform to obclavate, light brown. They are 2 septate. The conidia are septate. You can see the septa in the conidia with a truncate hilum, in the sense there is this basal region is slightly swollen and the terminal region is slightly pointed. About 7 to 9 conidia produced per conidiophore, and they are produced in a zigzag pattern. Here you can see the septate hyphae, and also you are seeing the septate conidia. So hyphae are septate, even conidia are also septate. You can see here one more diagram, one more picture where you can see the conidia, septate conidia, which are 2 or 3 celled, produced on conidiophore in a zigzag fashion. Once they produce on the left hand side, next they produce on the right hand side. Each conidium will actually germinate to produce a simple mycelium, which actually invades into the pathogen actually invades into the host tissue, where it ramifies, it spreads, and it causes the infection. In this picture you can see how the conidium entering into the host tissue and how it is producing the primary mycelium. You are also seeing the conidia being produced on the conidiophores in a sympodial manner. Coming to the disease cycle, in this only conidia are enough to cause infection. We'll start with the conidia, which are airborne, which are spread by wind, and they are spread from infected plants to the uninfected plants, and they attack all parts of the plant. I told you already, they attack panicle, leaf, node, neck and different parts, and they produce the spots on the leaves, and they also produce spots on different parts. And they produce the mycelium, and the mycelium grows inside the host tissue, and it produces the conidia, and like this the infection spreads, and the pathogen survives in the straw, the hay, of the rice, and whenever that straw that is left out in the cropland is again whenever it with these conidia that are there, they come across the healthy plants. Next time when the rice crop is again grown in the same field, they reinfect the host plant, that is the rice plant. Coming to the control measures, avoid excess of nitrogen fertilizer, avoid dry nursery, have plenty of water in the cropland. You can spray a number of pesticides are available. You can treat the seeds with Thyrum. You can also treat the seeds with Capton, so you can use the seeds that are treated by Capton. You can also dip the seedlings in Pseudomonas, which also will reduce the infection. And the best method is use the disease resistant varieties. Thank you very much for watching this video. We'll meet again in the next class with some other topic, with some other plant disease in this series. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.